Hello, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Shooting Rabbits in a Barrel, a podcast brought to you by Scarecrow Consultants. Once again, Si, you're back. You had so much fun the last time. You've come back again for more exciting stories.
Pleasure to be here, Jess. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for coming back. Right, 2 questions. What story would you like to share with us today? And what valuable lessons did you learn? I'm excited, given the nature of your last story, to see what you've got prepared for us today.
Okay, well, there's a little bit more feral young child behaviour in this.
Okay.
It's set in roughly the same time period as the last one, maybe a little bit before. Okay, so I think it was about 1975. I'll be about 10 years old, 75 or 76. I think it was 75. I was about 10 years old. And I mentioned in a previous shooting rabbit, so we had a big sort of field behind the house. It was pretty skanky. It was all overgrown, but it was great for playing in and building dens and that when you're a 10-year-old. And again, it's the summer holidays, and we're playing in the field. Myself, my younger brother, who's a couple of years younger than me, and a good friend of mine, John. And we decided we wanted to build a den, which we did, periodically throughout the summer. And we're mooching around in the field, and at one point, about 200-300 yards from where we lived, there was a sort of gentle slope down, grassy slope down, and we found at the top of the slope somebody had dumped a chest freezer.
Okay, as you do.
Yeah, as you do. Yeah. But don't worry, the door had been taken off, so we weren't going to suffocate. This is not like some tragedy where we lock ourselves in a chest freezer. Yeah.
I mean, my mind immediately went to, was there a body in it? So I don't know what that says about me, but okay.
Safety. Potentially, you've got a very safety first mind. There you go. And you've watched too many murder mysteries.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's this chest freezer. So we think, well, wow. That'd be a great part of a camp. We could use that to make a den and a camp. And we tried moving it. Really, really heavy. I mean, you got 3 10-year-old kids. We're not the most muscly people in the world. And this was the 1970s, so we were all malnourished, and nobody had crisps or pop in the 70s.
Okay.
Not like today. So we thought, well, actually, we can't move it, so we'll have to build a den with the freezer where it is. And we thought, well, it can make quite a good sort of castle or a fort. We can get inside it and be protected. We'd have like battles. So we think, well, okay, it was right on the edge of this slope. So we thought, well, we need to level it up a bit. And like I said, this field was a bit of a dumping ground. I mean, eventually it got made into a lovely park. They landscaped it and planted trees, and it's really lovely now. But at the time, it was a bit of a dumping ground. There are lots of old bricks and things. So we found a whole load of house bricks, big house bricks. So we thought, well, that'll be really good. We can prop the front edge up of this freezer with house bricks. So even though we couldn't sort of move it, we got enough strength to sort of lift it up a bit and get a couple of house bricks under, and then lift it up and get another few under. So we probably got about 6 house bricks, like 3 each end. Now, in hindsight, this is probably not the best solution, but you're 10. We're doing practical engineering here. Yeah. So we do this. We prop it up, give it a bit of a shake. Yeah, it's wobbling a bit, but we'll be all right. The arrogance of youth, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there was myself, there was my 8-year-old brother, and my friend John Golby, same age as me, and we decided to we'd play. I can't remember whether it was cowboys or whether it was knights and castles, but John and I were going to be defending the castle.
Mm-hmm.
And my younger brother, because he's my younger brother, we didn't really want him in our den, was going to be attacking the castle, which meant he'd got to sort of run uphill and throw things at us.
Yeah.
So we sent him down the bottom of the hill. John and I climb into the castle, carefully balanced on 6 house bricks. And I can't really remember what happened at that point. I always maintain that my younger brother probably came and kicked one of the house bricks away because we wouldn't let him play. But I'm sure when he sees this on LinkedIn, he'll put some kind of comment about that.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever happened, the carefully arranged supports at the front of the fort. You imagine, we've got a slope like that. We've got something sitting on it on house bricks. They gave way, and the whole fort, the castle, the fridge freezer, tips forward. Out fly John and myself. Okay, smacking onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We all jump up. John gets up. You okay, John? Yes. My brother's probably laughing at us at this point. You all right, Simon? I went, yeah, I think so. And then I looked down, and my left arm was basically shaped like that at that point. In fact, there's still a little lump at the edge of my arm there. Basically, I'd broken my arm. And I went, oh. I didn't panic, because this is the second time I've broken my arm as a child. I once pulled a large waste bin down on top of me at a school because I was climbing on it and it fell on me. That's a different story. I went, oh, I've broken my arm. Okay, I was in pain, of course, but adrenaline's obviously kicked in. I mean, this bit's not really relevant to the story, but at that point, so just so you know, young children, if you're watching this and you happen to be outside playing in a field and you break your arm in two places, clean break through both bones, and you want to, run home quickly without your arm like doing this. This is the best thing you can do. Get those two fingers. Stick them in your mouth. Right. Perfect. So I do that and run home. Anyway, the arm gets sorted out eventually.
Sorry. What is the thinking behind putting your fingers in your mouth? What?
Well, you see, my arm's a bit floppy, as you can imagine, broken in two places, like I say, like this. Yeah. I got 300 yards to run home, because obviously I needed to run home to get taken to the hospital. I needed some other arm to give me a bit of balance when I'm running. I couldn't run like that, otherwise I'd be like, ooh. So I thought, I know, if I do that, it'll hang straight. Yeah. But the bones will, they'll sort of straighten out a bit, and it won't be flopping up. And I've still got my other arm to help me run. It makes perfect sense. There you go. I don't know why you're so confused, Jessica.
Okay.
But that's just a safety tip for young children. Yeah. Don't panic. Yeah. You need another arm to give you a bit of balance. Stick those two fingers. We've lost Jess. I've killed Jessica.
I can't.
And that's basically the story, really. Yeah, the broken arm because our castle collapsed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you need a minute?
I'm fine. I'm fine. So, from this situation, what valuable systems engineering or engineering lesson did you learn?
Don't jump straight to the solution. Engineers are really bad at this. We like building things. We don't like designing things and testing them so much. Yeah. We went straight. We built the castle. We didn't really think about it. We knew it was a bit wobbly. We could have thought, well, just literally 3 bricks stacked on, probably not the safest of structure. Had we crossed them and made a little pillar, we might have been all right. We didn't do any testing. We didn't balance it and then rock it hard enough to see if it was safe. We went straight to the solution, and going straight to the solution in this case, due to external disabling systems, possibly my younger brother, caused the system to fail spectacularly, with consequent threat to life and actual bodily harm occurring to one of the stakeholders in this system. So yeah, design is very, very important, as is testing.
As is actual bodily harm. Also, even if no scenario modeling in that, no thinking what happened. I mean, it's a castle. You have built it as a fort, as a fortification. Oh, but it gets attacked, and then it's straight over. Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah.
How did you? So when you told people you'd broken your arm, what did you say? I fell out of a freezer.
Well, I ran home and mom, welcome home. Probably without the initial conversation. Yeah, I would imagine I probably told the truth. Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, we were building a fort in a freezer and it fell over, Mom. Probably think the conversation.
Engineers are good at, okay, so we go straight to solution, and we just like, because we want to build stuff. This is everybody who's in engineering. It's like, what do you want to do? We want to build stuff. We want to contribute. We want to build cool tech. We want to say oh, that's in space and I did that and this. So we go straight to that. Do you think we're very good at then, when things do go wrong and when we haven't done what we were supposed to? This is obviously a big generalization. Do you think we're good at then saying, this was the fault, this is what happened, these are the lessons learned?
I think some engineers are. I don't think there is enough reflection and introspection and thinking about it. And
it's not necessarily like, okay, yeah, I phrased it in a very like, it's on the people way, but in terms of processes and life cycles and the standards that we have, is that really there? Is that introspection and let's reflect?
I mean, this is, again, my answer is going to be a broad generalization, obviously, based on no real, evidence other than just gut feel and however many hundreds of years I've been working. No, I don't think we do it. I mean, I've worked for a couple of companies where we were explicitly meant to do lessons learned sessions and things, and it was like, oh, we haven't got time for that, deadlines looming, just fix it. And we just fix things and carry on. And again, a huge generalization. I'm probably going to alienate many millions of people now, but I worked for many years in software engineering, and that even more so. You find a bug, you fix it. And people talk about software rot, and it's because problems are found, they're fixed, often without any real necessary, not always, a lot of the times we do know what the cause was, but I've worked on software where I've not really understood what's caused the problem, and I've ended up adding extra code to try and trap errors should they occur, rather than stopping them occurring in the first place, because we've never really understood what caused them to happen. All we could gather was enough information to how to spot when they had happened, and then try and mitigate against it. But no, I don't think we are very good at that. I think there's I think you hear too often, oh, we haven't got time for that. I mean, we hear it about systems engineer, we haven't got time for that, and yeah, but you've got time to fix all your errors when you get to integration testing or acceptance testing, and that happens so often on projects, because that level of introspection and investigation doesn't happen early enough, I don't think, in my mind.
Yeah. Sometimes I think as well, if we're doing super purist systems engineering, and I think this came up on a previous episode, it might have been with Oscar, is that systems engineers, if we're getting super no, you can't think of the solution first, exactly as the lessons of this podcast, we then won't look at the lessons learned from previous times. But that's different. And learning from what's been done before is different from copy pasting the technical solution that has been done before. And I in my experience, again, not but like just empirical evidence, I don't think we do that. I think we get confused between, you said we can't do any solution work at all. We can't. And it's like, yes, don't think about your solution right away. But if we've got design options, if we're trying to assess feasibility, if we're thinking about how this has been done before, like what is a feasible solution in our very early concept stage, then like we are allowed to look at what we've learned before.
Yeah, I mean, a stupid example. Yeah, if you were building a supersonic plane and somebody said, well, oh, let's build it out of cardboard, and which would be a stupid thing, you know, yeah, maybe somebody tried that once. It would be absolutely ridiculous not to go, well, let's not, that's a stupid idea. Somebody's already tried that and it didn't work. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a really fine balancing act, this thing about sort of logical systems design and physical systems design, and how pure. I think you used the word pure, which is a very good word. How purist are you? But yeah, you're absolutely right. You can't. Yes, you want to be thinking at a logical level, but you've got to, in the back of your mind, go, well, we know that all of these things were tried in the past and didn't work for these reasons. And even that might affect a logical design. People talk about logical, but even logical designs are very often echo the final physical structure, because that's what we're used to working with. It's very hard for us to come up with a logical design for a system that doesn't somehow map fairly closely onto a physical design, because we work in the physical world, and we know that we ultimately going to be constrained by the physical world and chemistry and biology and physics and whatever. To go back to the very original question, I think it is something we're very bad at doing, across all kinds of engineering.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this got philosophical real fast.
It did. Yeah. From a to philosophy. There you go. You just remember that. Broken arm, floppy in the mouth.
I will. Next training we run together, Simon, and run in, I'm going to be like, Simon, pull them down the stairs.
Right, there you go. So we'll sit in the corner and we'll get you to hospital when we can.
Put a wet paper towel on it. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
right.
The worst thing was, just to finish the story, I ended up having to go back to hospital twice because I'd broken both bones. And the first time they set it, they actually over sort of set it a bit like that. Don't know whether this is coming through. So rather than the ends of the bones, like they were sticking out, and I had like 2 big lumps. So they left that for a couple of weeks. I had to go in and they had to re-break it and set it properly. Yeah, so just a nice little end to that tale.
Lovely. Thank you for that, Si. Well, thank you once again for joining us.
You're very, very welcome. Anytime.
I look forward to the next.
I'm sure there are many, many more feral child stories that can be a basis of engineering wisdom and knowledge.
There we go. Well, you can bring the feral child stories. John brings the feral adult stories. We're covered on all bases. So, all right, listeners, thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like to get involved and share your stories, you can contact us at rabbits@scarecrowconsultants.co.uk. Si, thank you very much again.
You're very welcome.
And listeners, we will see you again next time.
Bye all.
Bye.